What if your daughter disappeared? Your mother, your son? What if years have passed and you're no closer to finding them?
When a person goes missing, their story doesn't stop there.
Each week, Missing brings you stories of missing persons and justice, sourced from the case file of the nonprofit Private Investigations for the Missing.
Listeners Say Missing is the most binge-worthy podcast of all time.
Search Missing wherever you listen to podcasts.
Missing, where mysteries have a mission.
Are you fascinated by the twisted minds that commit criminal acts? I'm Dr. Shiloh.
And I'm Dr. Scott. We're both forensic psychologists working in Southern California.
In each episode of our podcast, LA Not So Confidential, we dissect the nexus where true crime, forensic psychology, and entertainment meet.
All delivered with our signature gallows humor while examining the actual diagnosis and dishing on the media portrayal of the events.
Subscribe to LA Not So Confidential anywhere you go for podcasts.
Trust us, we're doctors.
Hey everybody, welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
And I'm Christina.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, first show after our live show.
Oh my gosh. And that was so much fun.
Ugh.
It truly was.
Huge thank you to everybody that bought tickets and came to see us, be it virtually or in person.
Yeah.
We're so grateful. And also to Kelly and Becky, who were the greatest openers of all time.
Oh my God. They were so amazing. And it was honestly that night, even just as it was happening, felt really great. It was so fun.
It did. And you know what? Hanging out, all of us girls in the green room backstage was so much fun.
The cheese plate.
The cheese plate. We had like two cheese plates.
Yep.
There was fresh
3
fruit.
bottles of wine.
Oh my God.
Hey, liquid courage. You know? Man. This weekend in general was just like debauched.
It was too much.
The way that I'm still in recovery, I like just from the whirlwind of it. I think it's so funny because like you were like, what are we going to do after the show? We should do something. I'm like, I can't even think past show. Like for me, I couldn't even think about what the day was going to look like after we were done with the show.
Right.
Apparently I couldn't think what the whole week was going to look like after the show because I feel like I have just been in a fucking full bubble, just floating through this week, getting stuff done.
I really did let the come down from the show act as my excuse to be an absolute piece of shit the entire week. Like I was just like, I'm tired because I just did a live show. I'm tired. And I was just like they were like, that was like 5 days ago. You need to, you've recovered. Stop it.
Yeah. No, but I think it takes a lot. I don't know if you guys have this happen too, when you have like a big event or something that you're really nervous about or that you spend a lot of time planning. When it's over, do you get that like, I don't want to say depressive kind of thing,
but
almost
a hangover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I want you to understand how big my hangover is. It goes back to the week before in which we went camping and that windstorm that we survived at camping.
Oh my God.
And I want to talk about how I still have a Tupperware container in the middle of my fucking bedroom floor because I cannot
unpack it.
I can't.
That's so funny to me that happens sometimes where there's just like one thing that you will just continue to step right over.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the dog
it would take
has
you
to
nothing.
go around it to get her food and her water, and it
would take you nothing to like lean down and pick it up, and you're just like, I can't. Like I just can't. You're mentally can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. It lives there now.
No, I think the weather getting darker and colder,
it's
and
so
all
cold.
that stuff happening. I am like full blown in like just this incredible lazy
funk.
Week.
Yeah.
Like just a little light Menti B.
Yep.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Diet Menti B. I don't know if it just is. I'm just exhausted all week.
Yeah, I'm super tired too. I'm like super tired, and then I think the second it dips below like 68 degrees. Yeah. Like the second it gets like a little bit cold outside, immediate permission to not do anything.
Yep.
Like today I was like, okay, Keegan, get up, you're going to go on a walk. I was like, I'm going to walk to the grocery store. Like, I'm going to walk to Ralph's and get some stuff and like walk back. I made it to the library, dropped off my library book, and then I was like, it's too windy. And like turned around. I was like, no, I can't do it.
No.
It's too cold. I'm cold.
Gonna Postmate some ramen and call it a day.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh man. Oh, it was soup week at my house for sure. I made chicken noodle soup and chicken tortilla soup. I was like, it's soup week.
I do love fall, even though, you know, it does make me so lazy. And you know, the thing is, when it's really hot in the summer, I'm like, I don't want to go jog because it's too hot. And I'm like, when fall comes, then I'll do it.
Yep.
And then fall comes, and then I'm like, it's too cold. I can't go.
The Goldilocks of workout.
Yeah, I get like 1 week where the temperature is perfect.
Same.
72 degrees. Excellent.
But just to wrap it up with the live show, yes, thank you guys so much for coming. We had such a wonderful show. We will be eventually putting up the video and maybe the audio somewheres, and we will let you know about that most definitely on our Patreon at some point. But if you would like to get in on the action, we will let you know at that time.
Yes. As well, I brought something to talk about today. We have talked about red flags copious times.
Yeah.
On this
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
Yes.
This is the Red Flag podcast, actually.
That's
Actually, yes, exactly. It's like my worst date, semicolon, red
flags.
Semicolon.
We also have green flags. We've talked about those. Beige flags.
Okay.
I don't know what this is.
This is a new the rising dating trend to look out for on dating apps. So
This is just boring people. That's what I think of.
exactly.
Oh, they don't give you enough.
Exactly.
I see.
Beige flags are just generic fucking dating app profiles that give you nothing to go off of. So people are saying, look out for that. It's low effort,
That's right.
low energy, generic. What are they going to be like on a date?
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
It's like those people who put on there, like, just ask me in person. Yeah.
Ugh.
And you're like, what?
No. This isn't a fucking interview.
There's a reason why.
If you can't give me enough, no.
I'm not
no
wasting my
effort.
time. We just said how lazy we were. You think I'm gonna like get dressed and like put makeup on to come
we're
meet
lazy
you?
and would fill out the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
Because I can fill out the whole thing laying down in my bed.
correct.
That's right.
So I mean, come on. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm not getting ready and fighting traffic to go meet you in a bar just to learn that we're incompatible.
Right. So some of the beige flags vary from person to person, but the most common ones include like people that put the way to my heart is through food, or adding if that matters after their height. Like 6'1", if that matters, is a huge beige flag.
To me,
I
that's
guess.
a red flag because I mean, that person seems sensitive as fuck already. I'm like,
Any reference to extremely mainstream sitcoms like The Office
Okay.
is a beige flag.
But some people really like The Office though.
But yeah, if you see it on a dating app, you see it 100 times. So like these people are saying that like a dating app should be unique. It should show you.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like quotes and that sort of thing, which when you're swiping, you'll see
You're like,
over and
Susan
over
Sontag again, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the same as when Instagram was really new and every girl who was like 22 had like wanderlust in their
Oh
bio.
my
It's
God.
like the same thing, right?
Angel wings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That kind of thing.
Man.
So yeah, I definitely wanted to. And then you were talking earlier about kitten fishing.
Yeah, so it's similar trend. It's not like somebody who's like blatantly put up like a picture of someone else, but it's more kind of along those soft terms of like, oh, they've filtered themselves, but they're good at it. You know what I mean? Like people who have like altered their self just enough to be like, you know, not who they look like in person.
Well,
and
I
those
feel like-
filters can make your face skinnier. They can do all kinds of like
I feel like you don't
things.
even have to be good at it because
That's
there are
true.
so many filters now that come on every single application that are subtle. Like there are lots of like very, very subtle filters now. So I feel like, you know, yeah, I don't think you have to like, you're not there like photoshopping your pictures or
Right.
anything like that. You're just slapping on a filter.
Well, apparently, I was also reading an article today that Gen Z is extremely anti-filter, or becoming anti-filter. And in fact, it's called beige something. I don't know. But there's an app called Be Real.
Be Real. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the idea is now that your dating app profile picture should be a good picture of you, but completely without filters. Like filters are considered a red flag.
Well, I think that I agree with that as well. I mean, I think on a dating app.
Listen, I think if you got like a zit and it was a bad skin day and you had to get a picture up real quick, whatever,
yeah.
block that one zit out. But like, I mean, people be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like you can make your eyes further apart, closer together. I mean, like there's so many things. I'm like, that's not who you are.
Well, and it's just like lying about your height or anything else, or
if
using old pictures.
Yes.
Because it's like, who do you think you're fooling?
That's right.
You're going to meet this person in person.
Right. And it's like, there's nothing worse. And I've been on that date, you know, where you go and you meet somebody and you see that look on their face, like you're not what I was expecting in person.
Yeah.
And it's hurtful.
Yeah.
It's super hurtful. I'd rather them not swipe at all because they saw what I actually look like.
That's right.
Yeah. Why would you want to do that
of you
to
3 years
yourself?
ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago?
That's always what I've thought about those types of things. It's like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to go well. Like when you meet them in person, so I wouldn't want to put myself in that kind of awkward situation. I mean, and then also, of course, you're putting the other person in a really uncomfortable situation. Like, why would you do that? But yeah, I mean, the filter situation is getting so out of hand. Like I'm seeing people on TikTok. Oh God, first of all, you should never do this trend because these people just get roasted to shit. Have you seen the trend where they're like, show me that you don't look your age without telling me you don't look your age or whatever. It never goes well for any of these people. But I've seen a number of these people do it with a filter on.
You're like, how do you think that we don't see that you are clearly... Like, I remember when the filters first came out and people were going like way overboard. I had a friend post a picture. I'm like, bitch, where's your nose?
Oh yeah.
Your nose disappeared.
We all know that person from high school who posted a picture in like,
and they're like fuzzy and you're like, honey.
Yeah. There's a flash, front facing flash that just wipes their fucking nose out. They're overexposed to shit.
Yes.
Overexposure was filters before filters. Like that's really what that is. But there's always people who take it way overboard.
I can't say it enough how much I love Gen Z. They remind me so much of Gen X.
Dude, I will tell you though, my mom has sent me like screenshots. My mom's on Bumble.
Oh my God, tell me.
And some of the older gentlemen on this app that use like hardcore filters and editing, it is cringe.
It's so much worse when people who don't know how to use photo editing or filters try.
So damn cringe. It makes me want to peel my skin off.
Sir, you don't have freckles. Let's not. Okay.
It's not.
Oh no.
I mean, and here's the thing, and I think I've said this before, like, especially when filters first started, Snapchat's really the first like app that really brought filters into the forefront. And it was very silly, obvious.
Yeah,
like
do I want to see my niece with dog ears?
Yes,
absolutely. 100 times
I'm throwing
I
up
do that.
a rainbow. Like, it was like really silly things like that. And I see a version of that now on TikTok where people do, the things where they're like, they have freckles or whatever, where to me, it's very obvious that they've got a filter on. And I can tell that it's like, there's a difference between doing it because it's for funsies and doing it because you're trying to like trick somebody.
People?
Yeah.
I'm like, I've always wanted to see what I look like with red hair,
right?
Freckles. Like,
sure.
Absolutely.
Those are fun. Yeah. I agree. And I think that my point to saying that I love the idea that like what Gen Z is saying is that like the no filter thing. I like that because I still think that you can have fun with all those filters. No, you're not fooling anybody. I mean, everybody knows, everybody can see, but I like that. It's just like, I love that idea of just being like, listen, you've all seen me on TikTok. So I mean, like, I'm like, I do not get dolled up. I'm like, I got something to say and it's right now in my
and you're
hair.
going to get it. right now.
It's greasy. Sorry.
I love it too. I think there's obviously still a ton of people using the apps and that sort of thing, but I think that Gen Z, having grown up with the internet and grown up with these tools, might be finding a more responsible and humane way of using them than those of us that had to adapt to them.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a very, very
I'm
insightful.
interested to see where it's going to go. I just don't think we know yet. I don't think it's fully fleshed out and developed yet, like where this is going to go. I mean, because the rise of filters and things has led to an increase. We actually did when I was co-hosting Mirror and Green Neighborhood Feminist, we did an episode about this. It had led to the rise of young people, specifically like Gen Z, getting a lot of plastic surgery and fillers to look like filters.
Right.
And so we have no idea. Like, it's just...
That's weird.
We don't know where the end point is because we're in the middle of it still.
Yeah.
I do think that those people that are right around your age, Keegan, were probably the ones that were the most personally affected by body positivity issues. I do think that the younger age of Gen Z has gotten to see, hopefully, the other side of it. I have my fingers crossed.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. Like, let us be your cautionary tale. Don't do what we did. Don't get so caught up.
And it is that's the group of Gen Z people who are like, hey, we don't hate millennials. Hi, we saw you guys go through the shit.
Just like every few years.
You were the cautionary tale. We get it.
The apocalypse. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, who should we fuck, marry, kill this week?
Oh gosh, how hard.
I think if we're talking beige flags.
Oh, beige flags.
Are there any celebs that you think are just so beige?
Yes.
Just boring.
Chris Pratt.
Tom Brady.
Oh my gosh.
The beige flag that every beige man points to as their beige flag. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Beige beacon.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh man, I need to think of
This
is awful. Already.
Idea. Hold on.
We've got
Come up with a good one.
Chris Pratt and Tom Brady. Oh no.
It's all very Christ adjacent.
Wow, we got a listicle here that's absolutely amazing.
Is it just boring?
Yes.
People? Oh my god, please give us a few. Maybe we'll change our answers.
Okay.
I love
14 boring A-list celebs that are undeserving of their
This is the kind of petty journalism that I want to partake in. I want to be the person who wrote this article.
We've got J-Lo. Number 14.
Wow.
I don't know if I agree with that. I'm going to say it.
Apparently, number 13, George Clooney likes to be asleep by 10 p.m. every night with the TV on.
well,
that
listen,
sounds
fucking
incredible. So
he sounds hotter, actually.
Also, George Clooney is old. Let him go to
90.
bed.
Let him go to bed at 10.
Katy Perry.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. I think Katy Perry is
I bet she is.
boring. Yeah.
Wow. Quotes here. Number 11, getting married is the most interesting thing Blake Lively has ever done.
Oh, God.
Can you?
Damn.
Oh, shit.
That is spicy.
I mean,
damn.
and is she wrong?
I think she's so pretty.
She is pretty. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about her. Feels very...
I think that might be the point. We know that she's funny with her husband.
Oh, damn. Anne Hathaway at number 9.
Yeah, I agree.
I like her though.
I like her.
But yeah.
But I love beige people. Come on. I also want to be in bed by 10 with the TV on.
Jennifer Garner. I like
Jennifer Garner too.
She is the lightest of beige.
Yeah.
Oy vey.
She is better Homes and Gardens though. Yeah. Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, well, obviously.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence. I don't think she's beige.
I don't like this list.
Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Oprah Winfrey.
I'm sticking with Chris Pratt.
I don't like this list.
I'm sticking with Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady
still wins the badge trophy.
on that.
On that, yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, I feel Gwyneth Paltrow in this list.
Oh God,
you know who? Katie Holmes.
Ooh, that's another good one.
But you know what? Katie Holmes has some stories, and I want them.
But so is Vanderbeek, I bet. He seems beige.
Oh, he definitely is.
Yeah.
I saw him on Dancing with the Stars. He's got like 18 children.
Yes.
Okay, so we have. I hate
Gwyneth
this.
Paltrow.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Tom Brady.
So
Chris
much.
Pratt.
Oh,
my
God.
Wow.
Ugh.
What have we gotten ourselves
Okay.
into?
This might
I'm gonna
be-
marry Gwyneth Paltrow because that's the only thing I can't. That's. Oh.
But
You might be right. Oh my God. But then like
Tom Brady
so
is
much
so
tofu.
She's so harmful. Gwyneth Paltrow.
So much
she
tofu. There's gonna be stuff,
Tom
weird
Brady's-
She's
stuff that
gonna make
gets
me
put up
stick
my
something
vag.
up my vag. Exactly. Our house is gonna smell like her vagina because she's got candles.
Come on.
Oh my God.
This is horrible.
awful.
Impossible.
This is horrible.
But I will say she is the most colorful beige one we've had on here.
She's the most interesting
Yeah.
of these three.
Yeah. I'm
and-
gonna marry her. I am because
Okay.
I still think that she is. She's definitely the most colorful of the beige characters here. I
Well,
just
an
feel
entrepreneur.
The thing is-
comes from money.
Yeah. The thing is,
and then-
you might be right
I know
because the other two options are
very
for
difficult.
marriage
Yes,
for marriage.
are
That's
so
what I'm saying.
bad.
Yeah.
that is what I'm saying. I can't I'm married to either of them. I was thinking about Tom Brady because then it's like, well, he's gone most of the time and that would be fine.
Yeah.
But I can't ever. He is so gross looking to me. Oh God, he is so gross to me.
He's got Frankenstein's monster energy.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
totally. He has got the
Probably is at this point, man. He's
Fuck.
playing football his whole life. He's
yeah. It's
fucking.
I could.
Bionic Man.
There's no way I could fuck him either. So I'm gonna have to fuck Chris Pratt,
Fucking
which
him
sounds
would be awful.
awful.
I mean, but fucking Tom Brady would be
Ugh.
worse. I think you're right.
How he landed a Giselle. He's so above his weight
You know
class.
he's thinking about football when he's fucking
Oh,
too. Like you know.
so
he is.
would I. So would I. We would have something in common. I'd be like, oh, Sports Center's on.
I saw they did
na-na-na.
there was a documentary and somebody put part of it up on TikTok and I just felt so bad for Giselle.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Because it was before she announced like that, you know, that they were divorcing or whatever. And it was just this, he's literally saying, he's just like, yeah, I'm never here for my family. I'm never here for my kids. Football is like all I care about. Nobody should tell me how I should live my life. It was just
What a fucking
awful.
garbage pail
Like,
kid. Like, I'm not into
And
it
they have
at all.
been talking about him retiring for
Years.
years.
Yeah.
Years.
Fuck him,
And you
dude.
get to a breaking point,
Yeah.
you know, like at the, yeah.
And you know his ass when he isn't like out at practice or doing whatever. His ass, this lazy ass, is sitting on the fucking couch doing probably playing video games. He is. Oh my God.
mean, I
Playing
know-
Madden.
Motherfucker.
I know they have money and stuff like that for Giselle to not be like doing it all or whatever, but being
You still want a partner.
You still want a partner.
Yeah.
That's what she signed
A
up
fucking
for.
single mom. She's a fucking single mom. Anyway, so
Anyway, yes.
I'm gonna have to fuck Chris Pratt, and I'm not excited about it. It sounds awful.
Yeah, it's
He's-
terrible. You know, the
know
thing
what?
is, if I could have fucked Parks and Rec, Chris Pratt,
There you
Right.
go.
I would have really.
But Jesus juice, Chris Pratt.
It sounds like butt stuff.
Oh, it sounds like he's the kind of guy who's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't know.
Wrong hole
Wrong
guy.
hole. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
He's the head pusher too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He is head pusher vibes
Yeah.
for
You're
sure.
literally sitting on the
And
couch
he
watching a
does not
movie.
eat the meow meow. He does
Of
not.
course.
The Hello
No.
Kitty. Yeah. No.
He
No.
is not.
He's goodbye kitty.
Yeah. He is
No.
not eating pussy. He does not fuck on periods.
Nope.
100.
No.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, that's
Nah.
not fun. Oh man.
It's bad.
He's
This is
Mr. I'm not feeling it tonight, hun.
this is a terrible.
You know-
fuck, marry, kill. This might be the worst one
Yeah.
we've ever done.
really bad.
I am sweating. Okay. I can't marry Gwyneth Paltrow.
I know.
I can't.
It's
I
tough.
can't do it.
Are you gonna marry Chris Pratt?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
I cannot marry Gwyneth Paltrow because
She's
some of the
awful.
things that she promotes,
It's
and
terrible.
It's so vapid
Yeah.
to me. It would just make me insane.
I
So
can change
she-
her.
she has rich girl vibes in a way that would make me having grown up without money. She's got the kind of generational wealth that would be like nauseating to be around. Like she's incredibly remember when she made that list of like what the average she's like, the average American only has this much money to spend on groceries per week, and then she's did like, a trip to the grocery. She went to the grocery store and bought like 2 pounds of limes, and she's like, my food only went this far, and it's like the average family isn't buying 2 pounds of limes.
What are you doing with that many limes?
It was the weirdest thing. She's completely out of touch with people, and that would be hard to be married to.
Yeah. How much does one banana cost?
$10?
$10? Yeah. So
totally.
I am going to marry Tom Brady and encourage him to play football until he is 80 years old. Yeah. Get out of the house, go play your foosball, and, leave me alone.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. And
but you got to fuck him sometimes, and that's disgusting.
Yeah, well, hopefully he likes a doggy style, so I don't have to look at him. So
again, we're both thinking about football.
And then I'm going to fuck Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
She eats the meow meow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And actually, of the three, I feel like she actually would be kind of experimental. Like she's gonna do some weird shit like that you're not expecting. She's gonna bring herbs in. She's burning herbs. Yeah,
like some kind of like
tantric something. What? Yeah,
just use a vagina steamer and then just rail at you with this giant goop dildo.
Yes, exactly. It's like crystal. It's like pure quartz.
And this is why I can't be involved. This is why I can't, because I could never take that shit seriously. I would be like, what?
It's like super intense about it.
God.
So it's gonna release your chakras, and you're like just like,
and then I
see stars.
My chakras already completed like 2 minutes in. I'm
right.
I'm out of here.
I feel like I have too much religious trauma to try and unpack Chris Pratt.
Right,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Why it's a one night stand?
This is really hard.
This is going to be like impossible for you.
Yeah, because I think Tom Brady too.
No.
Tom Brady is like every dude that made fun of me in high school, honestly.
Yeah, my brain is short circuiting. He
really is.
Yeah.
I think
and who messages you now on Facebook? What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, you're looking real good, girl.
I know.
So I think I have to, and I hate myself for this, because she's a terrible person. TJ Fossil, she's a terrible person. I'm gonna marry Gwyneth.
Oh, you almost puked when you said it, and I understand it. It's
not because I was leaning towards doing what you did, Christina. I heard your reasons, and I was like, those are valid reasons.
True.
But being married to Tom Brady, I think would. I might end up on a Tainted Love.
We're spending a lot of time apart.
Yeah, true.
Breaks your soul.
So yeah.
Tom Brady, though, you're going to fuck him, and he's going to high five you when he's done.
No.
You'll be like, up top.
All right. Nope. All right. Look. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
You can't marry
Good
that.
game. Good game.
If he slaps me on the ass and says good game, I might be in longer. I don't know. I might be in on that one.
Good game.
This is the worst thing I've ever done.
I might
in
be in
life.
on that. Wow, I might marry Tom Brady now.
I just changed your mind.
Yeah. Good game. Fuck yeah.
Oh, now I know one of Cassie's kings.
Slap on the ass.
All right. I mean, I keep going back and forth, and none of the answers are good here. So, you know what? I'm gonna do what you did, Christina. Scrap all of that. I'm gonna marry Tom Brady, because you're right. I'll just tolerate him for the 4 months he's in town. And
well, think about this too. Not only is he out of town a lot, but motherfucker has to do stuff when he's not doing football, like go do like charity things and football for the kids and play golf and do all that other stuff. So he's probably home a total of maybe 5 days a year.
Do you think he gives a shit if I go to his games?
No, definitely not.
Okay, great.
No.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't care, because Giselle went to his games.
Not all of them.
Yeah, I don't want to go.
I think early on she went to a lot more, and any of the big ones she went to.
Okay.
But like not like all of the games. They got kids.
All right, then I'll do that begrudgingly.
She's like, I'll do it, but I fucking hate it.
Duress.
By the way, you guys, we don't actually have to do this.
SOS. I'm not safe.
Blink twice,
and
blink twice.
I'll fuck Gwyneth Paltrow. It will be a weird experience that I can talk to you guys
Benoit
about.
balls
gosh.
involved for sure.
You would not be able to talk to us about it because I'm sure that
NDA.
bitch has NDAs
You're
like
absolute-
on the fucking
I mean-
countertop. Like she just passing it out like candy.
Give me a couple glasses of wine. I'll tell you guys. Don't worry about it. And we're going to do it somewhere exotic like Thailand.
Oh no! But in her private jet, of course, because she's got to like also destroy the Earth while she's doing it.
I hate all of this.
Woo! Oh
wow.
my goodness.
That went off the
Sweating.
rails.
Absolutely. You guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Yeah. Today's episode is brought to you by Expensify. It is hard running a business, y'all. We have been doing this for a few years now. We're an LLC. And when it comes to traveling and trying to take care of taxes and, just manage all those little minutia things that come up, it's really difficult. And that's what I love about Expensify.
So one way that Expensify can save you time and energy is you no longer have to track down receipts. Just take a picture as soon as you make the purchase and Expensify will save it for you, automatically reading the merchant, date, currency, and amount. Super, super easy. Or better yet, link your credit card and Expensify will auto match the receipt to the expense and submit a report for you automatically.
Yeah, Expensify knows your time is precious, so they designed their app with one goal in mind, to make it easy for you to manage your expenses, bills, invoices, and business travel all in one place so you can focus your time elsewhere. One of my favorite features is the level of customer support and the focus on the user experience. It's so easy to log in, get set up help from a real person in no time, and start using it right away. Download the app or head over to Expensify.com to get started on your free trial today. Expensify, easy money. Cheers!
This episode is brought to you by FrameBridge. The custom framing company FrameBridge will change your opinion of what true customization really is. They measure and handcraft each frame specifically for your piece, so you can FrameBridge just about anything. Selfies, game day jerseys, your anniversary dinner menu, or latest artistic masterpiece. Just go to framebridge.com and upload your photo. If you have a physical piece to frame, they'll send you complimentary packaging to safely mail it in.
Preview your item in dozens of frame styles. Choose your favorite or get free designer help. The experts at FrameBridge custom frame your item and deliver your finished piece right to your door. Instead of paying hundreds at a framing store, FrameBridge starts at just $39 plus free shipping. Order online or stop by a FrameBridge store near you to work with a designer in person.
I love how personable they are as a company and how it is so affordable to do. I've had stuff framed before in the past, and it can be so expensive and it's so time consuming. And so what I loved about it is just as simple as loading my pictures in. I got the cutest metallic trio that I framed some pictures from when we went to Italy, and I love it. I think it's so cool. I just hung it on my wall the other day and it's really pretty. It's frame your photos or send someone the perfect gift today at framebridge.com. That's framebridge.com. Cheers.
And we're back. Okay, so this is a story from a listener, and also it is kind of perfect given our Shorty episode. So if you haven't listened to the Shorty episode, you should go back and listen to that because this is actually kind of relevant.
Oh, perfect.
Which is, I love it when that happens.
Yeah, like a theme.
Mm-hmm.
This is about jewelry.
Oh, no.
It is not. My husband and I moved into a rental house a few years ago, and we scheduled a time to set up our Wi-Fi. I should also say it's not a date, but it's dating adjacent.
Okay.
My husband was at work and I was in college, so I had a small break during the day to run home. I have a pit bull / border collie mix who loves people but is protective of me, so I felt fairly comfortable with the internet guy coming while I'm home alone. A blonde man bun shows up and takes his time getting everything set up.
Porn.
He keeps talking about how his job at Spectrum is just a placeholder until he can make it in the music business. After a solid hour, he then sits on my living room floor and starts playing with my dog.
No.
I texted, like, just not leaving.
Sir.
Like, that's so uncomfortable,
done?
especially when you're home alone.
Yeah.
I texted my husband because he didn't seem to be planning on leaving. My husband worked for the university in town, so he wasn't very far, and said he would head home to wait with me for the guy to leave. At this point, Man Bun finally gets up and gathers his things, explains how Wi-Fi works, and walks towards the door. He stopped before opening the door and said, "Can I ask you a question?"
No.
Oh, no.
I let my anxiety take over, and the people pleaser in me said, "Sure." I already fucking knew I had made a mistake. And he said, "Can I rap for you?"
Oh, no.
Yes. Let me get my phone.
One second.
Record.
I stood there not knowing what to do and
Blonde
made
Man Bun rapping for me. Oh, Lord.
and made somewhat of a Tina Belcher groan. He starts rapping about how he's just a Wi-Fi guy and he just met this girl.
Oh.
And after about 30 seconds of him rapping, in quotes,
I have fucking goosebumps right now.
God.
30 seconds of him rapping and staring into my soul.
No.
He ends it with, "And I'd love to take you out, girl."
No.
No.
Absolutely.
You know what you do?
Absolutely.
Ever worked.
Smack his
him on the
ass.
butt.
Good game.
Good game.
That's the name of this episode.
I was shooketh. This all transpired in maybe 5 minutes after I texted my husband. His drive would take roughly 10 minutes, and I was almost annoyed he didn't just teleport, because what the fuck?
I know. You're going to make me live this all by myself. Like,
How
I can't.
fucking dare you? It is one of those situations where you are irrationally mad at that person.
Yeah.
It's like not their fault, but you're like,
dare
I'm
you?
so fucking pissed at you for not having been home, leaving me.
Witness this with me.
I just wanted to know if I could ask you out, girl.
Oh, how? Oh.
At the end of a rap. No.
Girl, you know it's true. Why do I get those vibes? Like real Milli Vanilli shit right here.
It gives me very like 80s rap
Yep.
vibes. Yeah. I responded with something along the lines of, "Wow, that was really good.
Oh, no.
But I'm married."
Oh, darn it.
And showed him my left hand. I was already planning an escape in my head, but you never know how men will react to rejection. But he just said, "Okay," and left. My husband pulled up literally 2 minutes later.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, I mean, and I do
I've
have
been like, you want to sing it one more time?
yeah, once more.
Like, oh, yeah, my
Encore.
husband, he loves rap.
Yeah.
Do it for him.
Do it for him. Do you have a CD? Do you have an EP?
Do you have a CD?
But no, I mean, because it's true. That kind of thing is scary. Just never ask out a woman if you're that. It's a very vulnerable feeling. Like that happened.
You're in my fucking house.
You're in my house.
Sat on my floor, which
Actually,
I don't like.
the last time people
you
came,
mansplained Wi-Fi to me.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out, sir.
the last time people came to fix something in my bathroom, I didn't know they were coming that day, or I'd forgotten or something. And I was taking a midday shower, as you do, a lunch break shower, because I was working from home that day, and got out of the shower.
The number of times.
And heard, and he was like, "Hello." I guess he'd been knocking, and he was in my living room because he thought I wasn't home because he'd been knocking and I didn't hear him.
This
because I was
isn't
in
a
the
fucking
shower.
hotel. You don't just come in, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he had let Anthony know that he'd be coming that day. And so I guess
Somebody
they just
needs to be
assumed
home to be let in.
that I wasn't here. And so he was going to come in to take care of it. I was like, excuse me, can you wait outside for a second? And like changed really fast and let him in. But like
that's
that
the
shit is
worst
so
feeling.
scary when you're a woman alone.
I'm not okay. We can cut this out if you want, but I'm being dead honest. They're not allowed to just let themselves in without somebody home. Like somebody needs to be in your home.
I've definitely had maintenance come when I wasn't home.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Alex and my guy before him.
I mean, I don't know. I think
Because we always call.
I think generally we let them know we're not going to be home, and like we'll sequester the cats and do all of that
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And we didn't do that this time, but I don't know. Maybe he just thought like, they're
you'll
not
be home.
They're not home. I don't know. But yeah, that feeling is very scary.
That would
And
freak
so
me
like,
out.
don't ask for a date from a woman if you're a maintenance person or whatever. Like, you're in their house, and that's a very scary, vulnerable situation already.
And also, I feel like Spectrum would probably frown upon.
Yeah.
I'm positive they would. I mean, if you could ever get through to them in order to tell
waiting
them
on
that happens.
hold.
So, I mean,
And it's his rap music. That's the whole.
Oh my God.
all right. Okay. So mine is, he says, matched with a girl on Bumble. Account looks kind of fake, but because it seemed too good to be true.
You got to try it.
CEO of her own startup.
CEO of Self.
Tons of awards from her university. Friends with the Bumble creator. Model. Granddaughter of some political official in China.
Why isn't she on Raya?
Mentored by a famous businessman investor. We start texting and she's very to the point. She's dated rich guys, FTX founder most recently, but she found them boring. Wanted to date a not rich guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready to try the pores.
She's a poor guy tourist.
She's like, I want to try the pores out.
Let's see what's going on down here. She sends me her address. It's a penthouse type place in a skyscraper, and I pick her up. Dorman was confused as to who I was, but everyone knew
delivering
her.
food. You don't see food, bruh.
So we start driving to a restaurant, and she's immediately all business. Gives me her whole resume. I mean, her background, who she's most recently dating, why she's a real catch, what she's looking for. I can't get a word in because don't interrupt me. I hate when I'm interrupted.
I'm better than you.
I'm a handful, and if you can't handle it, then we should turn around.
We should turn around.
We should turn around.
Yeah. By this point, I'm mostly signed off on this date, but I'm hungry, so I drive us to the place.
That sounds about right. Yeah. I'm like, well,
I mean,
We're on our way.
Some fancy French cafe. We walk in and she goes, "Oh, weird. Only white people here. I don't normally eat at places without Asian people, but I'll try it out." We sit down and I look at the menu. I told her beforehand my financial situation and what I was comfortable spending. Basically just the entree for both of us and maybe dessert. Yeah, that went out the window.
Of course it did.
Immediately she orders a bottle of top shelf wine, 3 different appetizers, a soup of the day, a pre-entree, and dessert. My wallet is scared. I'm literally
She's like, can I have a cup of water?
yeah.
I'm literally texting my roommate beneath the table to fake an emergency. Then the interview begins. She breaks out an old tape recorder and sets it on the table.
No.
Oh my God. What are you, the Long Island medium?
No fucking
Also,
joke.
like an old school tape recorder. Like there's a tape in the tape deck. No.
She begins to interview me like a job. Why do you want to date me?
Does she have a podcast and this is how she gets her content?
I hope so. That would make more sense than this. Obviously, you're interested in me because you're still here. And that one was funny because I was literally trying to make an escape plan under the table. I will need you to be available every Thursday and most Mondays. You cannot have a schedule outside of that. Do you have a weekly thing with friends? We can reschedule that to involve me. I don't like doing my own laundry or cooking, and I love someone else to care for me. Can you do those things?
Honey.
This has got to be like a joke,
Am
right?
I your new butler? Like, I am
Are
so
you interviewing
confused.
an executive
That's
assistant?
so weird. Yeah.
What is happening? It was unhinged, but it was so bizarre that I found it endearing enough to stick through it all.
No.
Enduring's not the word I
No,
would
that's
use.
not the word.
Yeah, right?
Sure.
He's just like, what is happening? Dinner tasted fine, even though it cost me 4 times what I had planned.
Dinner tasted fine. If I'm paying that much for
better
dinner, that
fucking-
shit better blow my fucking mind.
Yeah. And I go on a back massage with it.
Honestly, as I dropped her off, though, she asks, "Are you circumcised? I only date uncircumcised men, but for you, I might make an exception."
Are you?
This is so cringe. I'm just like, who just speaks unfiltered like this
Somebody who's used to being able to do it
Oh my God.
and not suffering any consequences from it.
Honestly, I'm just stunned.
This is a different branch off of that pretty privilege tree that we talk
Wow.
about,
Right.
where it's
pretty
like
and wealthy.
Yeah.
pretty and rich, and like nobody has really put you in your place ever.
This is literally like the 100th cringe thing that she said. We met up one other time when she took my seat. That's the thing.
Yes.
He's a guy. She's pretty. So
Yeah, they met up again.
They met up again.
Yeah, because he
Was
found
he circumcised? I mean,
he didn't answer that question. He found all of her absolutely like astonishing, unhinged, rude behavior endearing.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, like if she hadn't looked like that, would you have found it endearing?
Yeah.
Would you
exactly.
have? Yeah. Stop
No.
it.
We met up one other time where she took my phone and DoorDashed $90 of food to her place without my
What?
knowledge while I was in
Stop
the
No, honestly,
what?
that is a bold fucking move. I gotta give at least some kudos to like
She's like-
boldness of that move.
Says,
Holy shit.
Open up.
Who leaves their phone out, by the way?
I was
I'm
thinking
gonna
the
take
same
it- I'm gonna
thing.
take that shit
Everybody
with
takes
me.
their phone with them. Yes.
Yeah.
When I got out, she then said, "My brother's almost here. You should leave." I didn't know she had siblings. As I got home that night, she texted me, "Oh my God, I have a business meeting in Reno tomorrow morning. Can you drive me there right now?"
What?
Reno is like 3.5 hours away, and it was midnight when she texted. I said, "I can't. I have to work at 6 a.m." And she never responded, and that was it.
Wow. Wow. That is incredible.
I am shooketh.
I need you to drive me to Reno immediately.
No.
Do you know what this date reminds me of? You know, on TikTok, how
I can't think of
everybody's
anything it reminds me of.
reminds me of on TikTok, everyone's doing the text from Schitt's Creek, like, and did you confirm with DeMarchier?
Oh, it's
you know?
it's from
What is it
Devil
from?
Wears Prada.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I
Oh,
need
yeah.
15 Calvin Klein coats or whatever
Yes.
it is. And the person's like, what?
What?
Yes, it feels that like
Feels
bonkers
unhinged
off the
like
wall. Like,
One of our friends actually quit her job not that long ago. And she was telling me some of the stuff because she was an executive assistant, like that she had to do for her boss. And one of them was like, call a fucking, like they were going on a trip and she had to call ahead, find a place that would deliver a yoga mat to her suite. But she had to like hire like an Uber driver to get it there. So it was just like, because it was a small town, it was just like, what in the actual fuck? I would be so fucking.
watching Devil Wears Prada, I'm like, could never have that job.
No.
Ever. Oh my God.
Nope.
No, I have self-esteem, so that makes it difficult. All right. So my story. So this is embarrassing in retrospect. Back in my second year of college, I was pulling an all-nighter at the same time as this very cute girl who I was a friend with. We weren't in the same place, but we kept messaging over Facebook or Hangout or what have you to the entire night. It was really nice just talking with her. I had been single for about 2 months and I was just getting over a breakup. When dawn hit and our papers were finally done, she asked me out for a celebratory breakfast. I went looking kind of gross.
Well, yeah.
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 That tracks.
I absolutely looked like I had just finished an all-nighter. She looked radiant and had clearly put more into the work into this meeting than I had. As our breakfast went on, we're talking, laughing, and caffeine is mixing with the satisfaction of completing my work for the semester. And I just feel like I'm really in a great place, and I tell her so much. The sun is starting to fill the windows of the restaurant we're in, and there's this warm light everywhere. She smiles, looks coy, and asks me if I'm over my ex. I smile back and say that I am, and tell her that I'm already thinking about the next person I'd like to ask out.
Smooth.
She smiles even broader and asks me if she knows who it is while touching me on the hand. Still smiling, I say, I don't think so. Her name is Rebecca. And she
Stop
was in one
it.
of my history classes.
I am aghast. That is the fucking funniest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
The way, how quickly would you slide out of that booth and go home? I'm not saying anything. I'm sliding the fuck out of this.
I literally next time you see me, I'm boarding a Greyhound bus. And I'm headed to Alaska.
No. What the fuck? How could you have no awareness, not being able to read any signals at all?
Distinctly, this was not the girl I was out to breakfast with.
Yeah, no, we got that, bro.
Thank you.
This girl, the girl I was with, looked absolutely devastated, and I had no idea why.
What do you mean?
I think I said something like, "I'm sad that the semester's ending soon, but I'll see you in the spring."
Why do you think she was touching your hand?
And thus ended what I would later learn was the first date with the woman who I would later become my wife.
Oh.
Twist ending, surprise ending.
Wow. She's like, wow, I'm really going to have to beat this one over the head.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I don't think you do. Her name's Rebecca.
What?
She's How dense.
Oh my God.
I would die.
Yeah. If you think you're putting out she's like putting out the moose, she's like post all nighter. I've got that glow, that sleepless.
She put her Charlotte Tilbury on and everything.
Yes.
No. I look, I'll tell you this much. I don't know that man would get a second chance though. I'd be like, I don't want to be in the same room with you again after that. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think you know her. I
don't think so. Miss Rebecca, she's in the history class. Wow. Good game. Well, you guys.
Good game.
You guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with the Tainted Love?
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Expensify. We are forever in debt to Expensify because none of us are finance people at all. And of course, with the podcast, we have so many expenses we have to keep track of, receipts, bills, all kinds of things. And it can get so overwhelming, but that's why we love Expensify because they've made it so easy.
Yeah, as you guys have heard before, I used to travel for work, and one of the worst things you had to do was carry around a little pouch, stuffing all your receipts in every time you would go buy a meal, get a coffee, whatever. It's so annoying, and Expensify has the tools to help you save all that time and energy. You don't have to track down receipts. You can just take a picture of the receipt immediately, and it will save it for you. It actually has the type of software that will go in and find the merchant, the date, all that stuff that you would normally manually have to enter. It just does it for you right away. Even better, you can actually just attach your credit card and Expensify will automatically just auto match those receipts when they come in.
Something that I can find really frustrating whenever I'm dealing with a company, if I'm having issues, is being stuck on hold or having to deal with a machine instead of a real person. One of my favorite features is the level of customer support and the focus on user experience. It is so easy to log in, get set up from a real person in no time, and start using right away. Expensify knows that your time is precious, so they designed their app with one goal in mind, to make it easy for you to manage your expenses, bills, invoices, and business travel all in one place so that you can focus your time elsewhere. Download the app or head over to Expensify.com to get started on your free trial today. Expensify. Easy money. Cheers!
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner. Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
And we're back. Keegan, don't tell us about an alien.
I will. No aliens this time. Was very fun though. I'm glad because I almost picked something different And then I
No.
was like, no, I can't. This one has visual aids.
Oh,
really
so
is
perfect.
the most perfect Tainted Love. If you
Thank
missed
you.
the live show,
Delicious.
you just really, whoo, boy.
It was out of this world.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Well, this one is, unfortunately, I'm so sorry, less fun than that one was. Today, I'm going to be talking about the murder of Roseann Quinn.
All right.
So Roseann Quinn was born in 1944 in the Bronx, New York. Her parents were Irish and devout Catholics who raised Roseann in the church. The family relocated to Mine Hill Township, New Jersey when Roseann was 11. And 2 years later, at the age of 13, she was diagnosed with polio and spent a year in the hospital.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. And as a result, she would have a very slight limp for the rest of her life. In school, Roseann was well liked by her classmates and had a really kind nature. In her yearbook, one of her fellow students wrote that she was, quote, easy to meet and nice to know.
Aww.
Isn't that sweet? I love looking.
That's really nice.
It's very nice. I love looking through people's old yearbooks. Like I have my dad's high school yearbooks.
That's cool.
And I love seeing what people wrote about my dad and
That's fun.
yeah.
I do like that.
I love that.
She went to college, graduating from Newark State Teachers College in 1966, and then continuing to teach at St. Joseph's School for the Deaf in the Bronx. She was well liked by both teachers and her 8-year-old students. Roseann was the type of teacher who would make breakfast for her whole class because due to the fact that there were only so many schools for the deaf in the area, some of the children that she taught had really long commutes and would come to school hungry. So she would make breakfast. Lovely.
Wonderful.
Teachers are great.
Yeah.
I know.
We don't pay them enough.
Nope.
Neighbors would later remark that Roseann was always polite and well-dressed, meaning that she preferred to wear blouses and skirts rather than all this hippie nonsense that was going on in New York at the time, popular with the other 20-somethings that lived around the area. On the outside, Roseann's life appeared incredibly conventional and even conservative, but Roseann had come of age during the women's liberation movement, as well as the sexual revolution. It was in full swing by the early 1970s. And Roseann considered herself to be progressive and fiercely independent.
Yay.
She expressed little interest in marriage and chose to live alone rather than with a partner or a roommate. She had a little studio apartment in Manhattan.
Love this for her.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Unlike some of her peers, she had a diverse group of friends that included people of many different backgrounds and races.
I love this for her.
Yes.
I love everything about her.
Having grown up in a strictly religious household, Roseann was eager to branch out now that she was on her own, and she began to experiment sexually. In 1972, she moved to New York City. She rented that little apartment on the West Side, and she would often frequent local bars alone after work, sometimes bringing a novel with her. She would read, or sometimes she would go to the bar and seek men who she would take back to her apartment for hookups.
Okay.
So despite her professional appearance, Roseann's type, in quotes, seemed to be more of this stereotypical kind of bad boy.
Oh.
She went for the bad boys, right? And she was she was, I think, a very cute girl. But she looked like a teacher. She had glasses and she wore blouses and skirts and she looked very clean cut. But she would go for these bad boy,
Kind of roughnecks.
rough and tumble guys, right?
Good game.
Good game. So she preferred men who were a little rough around the edges, and her neighbors would later say that they were lacking in education. How they could know that just by looking at them?
Well, I think a lot of people know things about people by looking at them. That's
Yeah.
Stereotypes.
That's how our country was built.
Yes. Yeah. On the morning of January 3rd, 1973, teachers at Roseann's school became concerned that she had not returned to teaching after the Christmas holiday. It was her second day being absent with no notice, and this was really out of character for her. So the school sent one of the teachers, the principal was sent one of the teachers to her apartment. They were like, you need to go check on Roseann because this is so unusual.
All right.
So the teacher gets there and the superintendent of her apartment building lets them in, where they discovered Roseann's body lying naked in the bed, covered in a bathrobe, covered in blood. The apartment looked as though it had been ransacked, and she had been stabbed 18 times in the neck and abdomen. Her 25-year-old brother, John, would go on to identify the body. She was 28 years old.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah. Police were stumped trying to identify who might have killed Roseann. They were able to verify that the last time anyone had seen her was on New Year's Eve night at a local bar she frequented called WM Tweeds. Because Roseann was a regular at the bar, people recalled that she had been there that night and had spent the evening, talking to a man and left with a man, but they were unable to identify him or recall what he looked like. The crime scene had been effectively sanitized by 1973 standards because the killer was smart enough to wipe their fingerprints from the murder weapon, doorknobs, and other surfaces. So they were like,
all shoulders.
Can't do anything. Yeah, we don't know. We don't have any fingerprints. Though they couldn't remember who Roseann had left with, people at the bar did recall that Roseann and the man that she had left with were there with another man that night. So there was 2 men and Roseann throughout the evening, and someone at the bar was able to recall the face of the friend who was with them. So the police made a sketch of the friend's face, and they had nothing else to go on. So they released that sketch. They were like, we know this guy, he didn't leave with her, but he was there that night, and we want to talk to him.
We got some questions.
Yeah. When the man saw his sketch on the news, he contacted the police. This man was Gary Guest, and he was a friend of a guy named John Wayne Murray. Pause. I really feel like we need to stop naming our kids John Wayne.
Yeah.
I feel like it never goes well. Every John Wayne that I've heard of has been a piece of shit. So just going to go on record and maybe say we should retire that. But anyway, John Wayne Murray.
Wait, isn't there that comedian? John Wayne...
Billy Wayne Davis?
Billy Wayne. Never
yeah,
mind.
Billy Wayne.
There you go.
I love a Bill Wayne. My friend Sienna's dad was Bill Wayne.
I do love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
Fearing that he would be considered an accessory to the murder of Roseann, Gary confessed what he knew. John Wayne was his roommate, and some sources say that the two had a sexual relationship or that they were like boyfriends as well, but I'm not sure how accurate that is or if it matters. Anyway, on the night of New Year's Eve, he was drinking with John Wayne at WM Tweeds when the two met and started chatting with Roseann. The three shared several drinks together before Gary left the bar around 11 p.m., leaving John and Roseann alone together. Gary says when he awoke the next morning and found that John had not returned home, he began to get worried, but soon John showed up in the apartment, rattled, and when he asked what had happened, he confessed that he had killed Roseann, at which point Gary gave him money to skip town.
Ooh. I don't like that, Gary.
No, Gary.
No, what you do, you're like, oh, cool. Hey, I'm going to run down and go get some milk real quick, and I'll be right back. I swear to God, I'll be right back. And you're like,
You find one of those phone booths that were on every corner in 1973.
That's right.
And 911. So this next part, I want to give a trigger warning for graphic violence. After Gary left the bar that night, John and Roseann stayed drinking until around 2 a.m. when they left the bar to go to Roseann's apartment to smoke weed. When they got there, they smoked and attempted to have sex. When John couldn't maintain an erection, Roseann, according to him, laughed that he was unable to perform sexually.
Whiskey dick's a real thing.
At which point he became so enraged that he picked up a metal bust that Roseann had of her own likeness and hit her over the head with it, then proceeded to stab her in the neck and abdomen before inserting a candle into her vagina.
Okay. No,
it's like that thing that it's the well-known thing, like guys' biggest fear is that
being laughed at.
Mm-hmm. And then a woman's greatest fear is being murdered. Right here.
Is
right.
it.
And we only have his word for it that that's even what happened. But even if it is what happened, they were drinking all night. They just smoked a bunch of weed. Like if she was giggly for any reason, it's none of it is a reason to have this kind of like enraged reaction.
None of it seems believable, honestly. That's the thing.
After the murder, he showered, covered her body in a bathrobe, wiped his fingerprints clean from the knife, statue, and the rest of the apartment, and then returned home. It only took a few days for the police to track down John Wayne Wilson at his brother's home in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they arrested him for the murder of Roseann on January 11th, 1973. Though John was only 23 at the time of his arrest, he already had a lengthy criminal record, though his crimes had not been violent in nature. He served time in Daytona Beach, Florida for disorderly conduct, and again in Kansas City, Missouri for larceny. And it turns out that John was already wanted prior to his arrest for Roseann's murder, as he had escaped from a Miami jail in July of 1972. Jesus. So he escaped from jail in Miami and then went to New York. He relocated to New York on the run, where he worked as a sex worker before meeting and moving in with Gary.
Wow.
Yeah. After his arrest, police took him back to New York, where they detained him at the Manhattan detention complex known as the Tombs. As part of his defense strategy, he also spent several weeks at Bellevue Medical Center to be tested for childhood brain damage in an attempt to prove an insanity defense. Mm-hmm. Though the results were inconclusive, it was determined that he was suicidal. Upon returning to the Tombs, all the suicide watch cells were full, so they put him in a normal cell to await his trial. On May 5th, 1973, John Wayne Wilson was found hanging from a bedsheet from a ceiling fixture in his cell. So He committed suicide. The case of the murder of Roseann Quinn became a media sensation, with news outlets choosing to focus on Roseann's perceived double life, buttoned up schoolteacher by day and promiscuous seductress by night.
Wow.
Police were often quoted in a way that made it appear as though her lifestyle and Roseann herself were more to blame for her murder than the murderer himself. Women's rights organizations of the time spoke out against this, reminding the public that Roseann was the victim. Yeah. Her case is often referenced as having influenced some change in how news agencies write about female murder victims.
They hate women.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no two ways about it.
Yeah. I mean, and I think, and there's so much more with this, like, because this happened in the early 70s, and it's like sexual liberation movement, the, women's liberation movement, they wanted to point to anything. There's a couple other, there's like the working girls murders that happened, I think, in the 50s or the early 60s in New York, a similar thing, where women were gaining all of this independence and agency. And so anytime something like this would happen, they could point to it and say, oh, look, see, it's a bad thing. See, women shouldn't be living alone. They shouldn't be able to, bring men home, living this lifestyle.
They're ruining
but also look at how responsible that they were for their own demise.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all that coded bias that's, always been a part of journalism and an extent, like, there's racist coded language, dog whistles, that sort of thing too. But it's so frustrating because you can still see it in crime reporting. You can still see there's still like a lot of blame being placed on the victims.
And And if she hadn't been so loose, if she hadn't led this kind of life, then this wouldn't have happened to her. Instead of it being like, this was a dangerous man, and if he hadn't done it to her, he would have done it to somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. In 1975, an author named Rudith Rosner, herself single, new to New York, and fascinated with the Roseann Quinn case, wrote a novel based on the events called Looking for Mr. Goodbar. Though the book would become a bestseller, even getting its own film adaptation starring Diane Keaton and Richard Gere 2 years later in 1977, the message of the book as a cautionary tale to young women feels extremely slut-shamey and victim-blamey to me. Granted, I have not seen the movie or read the book, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but I can say that what I have read about how the book and movie were received at the time leads me to believe that whether or not this was the author and or filmmaker's intention, this is how it was perceived and weaponized against single young women and the sexual revolution and women's liberation movements as a whole, and perpetuates the narrative that this kind of thing doesn't happen to nice girls.
Ugh. I wonder what Diane Keaton's got to say about that now, because she's always come off to me as somebody who's very pro-woman.
Yes, me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
me
very.
too. And again, I haven't seen the movie, so maybe I'm wrong. about what the author and the filmmakers were trying to get across. But I do know, sometimes when things are released into the public eye, people take it and twist it and do what they want with it.
Right. Yeah.
And I do know that is how it was used. It was used as this kind of weapon. And I do want to point out that obviously it's bullshit. First of all, one, bullshit. Two, by all accounts, Roseann was a nice girl. She was kind, she was nurturing, she was friendly, she was a good friend, sister, daughter, and teacher. And we shouldn't forget all of that and throw all of that away because she enjoyed sex and wanted to live on her own terms.
One thing does not negate the other. It doesn't have anything to do with it.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Right.
And all the strides, I mean, it's been what, like 102 years since we've gotten the right to vote or whatever, but it kind of feels like ever since then, with every stride that we're making as women to become more and more independent, there's this still ever building backlash against everything that we're just trying to do, which is just live a fucking life, be able to afford groceries and do, just live.
Yeah. I mean, but that's always the way it is. There's always backlash against progress. Always. Like and that's why I think the media probably wouldn't have gone this hard after Roseann or painted her this way. Because that is the enduring legacy, is that like, it was so salacious that she led this quote unquote double life. And can you believe she trolled the bars for men at night? And that's how it was, like that she prowled the bars, in search of men, and not just men, but like rough and violent men. And that's what she was into. And like, that is the enduring narrative from this. And I feel like it wouldn't have been that way if it hadn't, maybe to some degree it would have, but not in the same way. But it was an example that they could use in the midst of all this change that was happening. And it was change that they didn't like. Yeah. And so they were able to point to it and say like, well, this is what happens. You shouldn't be like that. Don't be like that. You should be like a good girl, exactly how we want you to be. And this type of thing won't happen to you if you just follow the rules.
No, but that's the thing, is that there are plenty of other fucking examples of people that do follow the rules and still get fucked up.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
And
every other week we tell a story just like that.
Yes, exactly.
So.
There is no following the rules to avoid getting hurt. Jesus. That's just not something that happens. And then, also, I wanted to give all that stuff on the front end. I know this was a shorter one, but I wanted to give all that stuff on the front end because people, like you said, it's exactly like what you said, Christina. People contain multitudes, and one thing doesn't have to do with anything else. And she was just this shining light of a person that people loved being around and made a difference in people's lives. I mean, she taught at a school for the deaf. She was just like this.
Yeah, and it just sucks that that's the narrative around her. It's incredibly unfair.
Yeah.
And it's also just a good reminder, for us when we're looking at stories. I mean, I know we've talked about it before, is just trying to see past that coded bias that is present in almost any story that you read, and try to see like, is this really like who this person was, or what's the actual story, or what are they trying to, what kind of message are they trying to sneak in here?
There's always like a lean, right? Like there's always an angle. And I feel like with this story, granted, of course, we have like such a long way to go even now in the way that things are reported. But I know that women's groups, because of this story, did push for, saying that's unfair. You talking about her like this when she's the victim of this violent crime, as if she did anything to make this happen to her, is unfair and irresponsible reporting.
But yeah, I mean, it leads to so many people like who are victims of SA to like, why would you, knowing that like a lot of times the defense is just going to turn around and paint it as your fault. Like, that's why would you want to be victimized again? It's, that just, it lights me on fire. Yeah. It makes me furious.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. You're absolutely right. This is exactly the reason. And everybody acts like it's like, the numbers are raised or whatever. Like it's funny because like I remember like in the 90s, like you heard a lot more about like people who dealt with SA, all those things. And it was like, oh, the numbers have gone up. I'm like, I don't think the numbers went up. I think people were just finally like sick of fucking hiding it and like ready to like come forward and say, no shit, like this is happening all the fucking time.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, and our understanding of sexual assault has changed as well. Like
even in the most recent years.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a TikTok that was kind of, a lighthearted one that was funny. That was like, POV, your grandmother who's like slightly traumatized, and she's talking about like all these things that happened to me when I went on this date with this guy, and like this thing happened, and
you're like,
couldn't do that kind of thing now. LOL. Kind of that like very funny. And we all have grandparents who would talk casually about like horrible things that happened to them as though they were funny, and people are just soft nowadays. And it's like, no, you were
using laughter as your
you were sexually assaulted on a date, and so our understanding of what you can talk about even has changed. Whereas before you would just go home and try and forget about it.
Yep.
Oh man.
Woof.
Well, what are you guys watching this week?
I watched the new season of The Sinner.
Ooh,
yeah.
What do you
the
think?
most recent season. I actually enjoyed it. I was not sure about it because the last season I really didn't enjoy.
Right. Yeah.
So I was not sure if I was going to enjoy this one. It's not my favorite. I think the first 2 seasons are still better. But I actually did like it. So if you like the first 2 seasons,
a couple episodes in, and I was kind of at the point where I'm like deciding, because there's so much stuff, of course. I'm like, do I want to continue with this or what?
It's slow.
Yeah.
It is slow. It doesn't really...
But life is short. Should she continue or no? Where are we at?
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I kind of had it on Sunday when I was like recovering from my hangover and just like let episode after episode play.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're in that place, in that mood,
I found it interesting. I don't know that I loved the last episode, but I enjoyed it. I think you should keep up with it. Let me know what you think.
I have been watching because I am a big... Okay, wait. First, I have to tell this because I haven't told you ladies this, but I was accepted to ASU online, which I told you guys that part, but I did also add a minor. So now I'm majoring art history and minoring in anthropology.
Oh,
nice.
So I'm really excited. And that anthropology nerd has been spending the past last night, like watching all of the Tutankhamun content because it's been 200 years since they found his burial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
awesome.
Interesting. There's so much you like, it's amazing. You have this one kind of pinnacle because it's the only one really that it's been undisturbed for all those years. And we've been able to preserve so much and learn so much.
Right.
And I mean, the things that they've been able to like really find out about this person, and then also with new scholarship on top of that, and changing. You may have watched something like 5 years ago about, King Tut's tomb and what him and who he was and all that stuff. It's out of date. Yeah. Because now again, there's been new CT scans and there's been again new scholarship now that reads differently, and now how we see him. It's just it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's really, really interesting.
Cool.
As I push up my glasses.
Well, I started watching the new season of White Lotus.
Oh, wow.
Which I gotta say, I loved the first season. Aubrey Plaza is in this season.
I love her so much.
Jennifer Coolidge is back for season 2. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. It's everything that you loved about the first season. So far, it seems like it's just still just as good. If you have not watched White Lotus yet, it's so awkward and amazing and fun to watch.
Oh,
so
Christina, did you see that they announced season 2 of Severance?
And Sandman. Is that what you're talking about?
No, Severance, they're bringing new cast members in.
Yes, I saw they're bringing Maybe from Arrested
Aaliyah Shawkat's coming. Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of new cast members.
Yeah, no, they finally also announced that Sandman got renewed.
Nice.
Too, this week. So I was like, yeah. And they have little icons that you can use for your Netflix. So I chose to be Goldie, the little
gargoyle.
In
In The Sinner, the girl who plays Percy, the main girl, is the partner of the person who plays Desire in Sandman.
Oh,
that's her partner.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, lots of good stuff going on.
Take that, TJ Fossil.
Exactly. Hey, and if you've got something that we should watch or read, if you've got a bad story for us, if you want to just reach out and say hello, or you want to join our Patreon because you're sad you missed the live show and you want to sign up so that maybe you can see it someday, go to our one-stop shop of website. It's myworstatepodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner. Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.